Eat, Drink, DFW from the Dallas Morning News is made possible by Central Market.
Hello, and welcome to Eat, Drink, DFW, the podcast from the Dallas Morning News food team. Each week, we take a look at food and drink trends in North Texas, talk about restaurants in Dallas-Fort Worth, learn some new recipes, and sometimes even get tips from you, our listeners. I'm Julie Fisk, podcast producer for the Dallas Morning News, and this week we are speaking with an absolute restaurant legend. Larry Lavine, co-founder of Chili's, will join the show, and we'll take a look at the latest protein trend, boy Kibble. That's all coming up right after this.
Central Market is really into food. Like when we say cheese, it's in 12 languages into food. Butchers, bakers, and sushi roll makers into food. We're talking so obsessive about quality you can shop blindfolded into food. Central Market is really into food. If you are too, then let us turn your shopping list into a treasure map. Get inspired, get adventurous, or just get a chef-made dinner when you've got more taste buds than time. No place makes every meal more amazing like Central Market. Really into food. Shop now at centralmarket.com.
For the latest food and restaurant news in Dallas-Fort Worth, visit dallasnews.com/food. Also, we'd love to hear from you, so email us at eatdrink@dallasnews.com. As usual, today I'm joined by food writers Sarah Blaskovich, Zakaria Washington, and Imelda Garcia, but we are also joined by an extremely special guest.
That's right. Today I am joined by someone who I dine with every month or two, and yet we have never had him here on Eat, Drink, DFW. So today we welcome Larry Lavine, who co-founded the mega restaurant chain Chili's. Welcome, Larry.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so Larry, before Chili's started serving my favorite chicken crispers in 49 out of 50 states, which it does today, Larry, you co-created this restaurant over 50 years ago in Dallas. We love a nostalgic story, so tell us where the first Chili's was and why you opened it there.
Well, the first one was at Greenville and Meadow in 75, and my childhood friend, Malloy Buckner, who's passed away, he and I had talked for years about developing a restaurant with just a very simple menu of great burgers and fresh fries, and we finally found that location on Greenville and Meadow where Red Coleman's used to have a liquor store, and opened the first store. It did $100 the first day, and fortunately grew from there.
So Larry, what was Greenville Avenue kind of near University Boulevard? What was it like then in 1975?
The dining scene in 75 was basically cafes or dinner houses. There wasn't much in between. We were on the early curve of casual dining where you could get a meal that was made from scratch, but you didn't have to get dressed up in a coat and tie. So, of course, there's dozens of those concepts now, but we were early on that. Chili's and Fridays were there at the same time to really bring in casual dining to Dallas, and then grew from there.
And Larry, why was it called Chili's? Because, I mean, it's burgers and fries.
I had attended the Terlingua chili cook-offs. Carol Shelby was my father-in-law. And so I went down to the chili cook-off with him and had a lot of fun. And
Wait, let's pause just for a second. He said Carol Shelby was his father-in-law.
So in Texas and Dallas, there's two things that people talk about, in my opinion. They'll talk about chili and they'll talk about barbecue. And if you ask 10 people, you get 10 different answers, and theirs is the only answer. So we didn't think we would sell much chili, but we thought by having the name Chili's, we could get some press and people would talk about it. So it was really a marketing idea. It turns out we sold a lot of chili. We didn't think we would. We wound up making 30-gallon batches, but at first it was really just a marketing tool.
And do you love chili?
Yes, still love chili.
I think it's important to point out then that this 50-year-old company, Chili's, that you started does not sell chili anymore. Just over a year ago in January 2025, the company, which is now run by a massive corporation called Brinker, the company removed the original chili from the restaurant's permanent menu. Larry, was this a big deal to you?
No, the people running it now are doing a great job. They're very smart people. And I talked to somebody in the supply department, and we talked about it. I said, you don't have chili anymore. And he said, well, the problem was they probably weren't selling much. But on top of that, if you hold a product online too long, it tends to fall apart. So people add more water, but that doesn't turn out a great product. So they thought, rather than turn out an inferior product, we'll just take it off because it doesn't sell that much.
Except for the whole name part.
Well, I would agree with that. And maybe they'll put it back on. I would think they could figure out, again, they're very bright people, some way to have chili available.
Beans or no beans, Larry?
You could get it either way.
Hold the phone for a second. So in Texas, we don't put beans in our chili, full stop. But at Chili's, the lowercase c chili could come either way?
Yes, you could get it with or without beans.
Tell me why.
Well, some people like beans in it. I personally think it's good with beans. But
Thank you. Same here.
Well, Julie's not from here, though.
well, we really preferred the customer that got it with beans because that meant they got us chili.
Did it cost a little more with beans?
No, it's the same price because beans are a lot cheaper than chili.
Oh, I see.
And what about the recipe? Who was the recipe?
It was my recipe.
Oh.
So if you want Chili's chili from way back when, you do have to get an invitation to Larry's house in order to have it.
That's right.
So, Larry, are you still involved with the restaurant today?
No, I'm good friends with the people, and again, they're doing a great job. But I took the company public and then stayed a few years and retired from that. But there people doing it today are doing a great job.
Now, I want to know which of the menu items are similar to the ones 50 years ago. We've already established the chili was similar, but it's not around anymore. What other items, Larry, are classic and are still kind of hanging around? And maybe what are a few that are totally different, totally past the time when you were at the restaurant?
Well, they still have an old timer with cheese. That was our classic hamburger. They don't have a chili burger anymore because they don't have chili, but they have the old timer and they have nachos. We put nachos in after a few years, and they still have quesadillas and they have guacamole. We also had a chicken sandwich. Since then, they've expanded the menu a lot.
Yeah, and I've seen a picture of the original menu. Just a side note, I love an original menu of a restaurant. You know, it never looks the same. And the one that I've seen, Larry, it seems like the word Chili's was sort of like sketched out or something, like with the little chili pepper. Is that right?
You can see that menu at the Chili's on LBJ in Preston. They have a copy of the early menu on the wall.
That's so cool.
Oh, wow.
Are there any menu items that you would be like really mad if they took it off, where you'd have to go down there and be like, what are you thinking?
No, I mean, they've done a great job with the hamburger. They had to take their attention off for a number of years, but they focused on it again, and they're turning out a good hamburger now, the old timer with cheese.
We've also talked about, Larry, the special that they're running, which you have complimented. Chili's is the restaurant of my childhood as a kid from the suburbs of Dallas. And then Chili's was just, there forever. But Chili's had like this spike. Was it last year when they started doing this special? And we've talked about it several times, just over lunch. Larry, can you tell the rest of us a little bit about why you think that's so smart and what the deal is?
The people that are running it now, Kevin and then George Felix, who does the marketing, the product of 3 for 1, where you get a hamburger, chips and salsa, French fries, and a drink, that was already on the menu. Mm-hmm. But nobody recognized what a great value that was. Those two guys figured it out and started promoting it, and that's what really jumped them up there to where their sales really started. I think their sales are up 30% or something like that.
That's wild for a 51-year-old restaurant.
Larry, you created this chain restaurant when chain restaurants were like new.
Correct.
If you had to do it again, what would you do differently?
I don't know that I'd do anything different. We waited to start expanding. We didn't expand for the first year because we wanted to make sure it wasn't a fad. The day I figured out it was probably ready to go, I had an office in the back of the restaurant on some winter day. And I opened the back door to get some fresh air and heard some commotion outside. And when I opened the back door, I saw a line going around the building. And I thought, at that point, that's probably when I think it's going to work. So at the time, Chili's and Fridays were both headquartered in Dallas. And we both thought our concepts were so unique, you'd only have one in the Metroplex. So we followed Fridays down to Houston, opened one, and then back in Dallas and back in Houston. And we went fairly slow in expanding, mostly through Texas. It's better to go too slow than too fast. We were ready to go a little bit faster than we did, but we never had any stores closed while I was there. So we could have gone faster. We had a great team. And that's the only way you can build a concept, is to have a great team and pick good sites.
I want you to tell one more story, Larry, about the lobby. You mentioned to me the other day that one of the reasons why there was a line is because you changed the rule about checking in to get a table. Tell us about that.
Well, when we first opened, we thought we'll let everybody come inside and wait out of the weather. Well, we got busy and there were people at the front of the restaurant lobby would be full. We couldn't get past them. So my partner at the time said, all right, everybody out. And back outside again, and the first person gets the next table. Whether you have 1 or 4, it doesn't make any difference. You're going to get the next table. A couple of years later, I saw an idea somewhere where we added a little extension with a bar. While you're waiting in line, you could go by a bar and get a drink, and that helped a lot.
Yeah, helped with sales, and then you got happier people when they come up for a table.
That's right.
I love that. Final question for Larry. This is outside of Chili's. This is just a recommendation from you, since I think you are one of the greatest minds when it comes to burgers and fries, certainly in this part of Texas, if not a larger region than that. Here's my question. How do you make the perfect cheeseburger, Larry? What sauces and vegetables go on it? How much beef? And what kind of slices of cheese?
If I was going to tell you how to make a premium hamburger, I would tell you to go to Costco and buy some of their Wagyu prime ground hamburger meat.
Okay.
Then I'd tell you to go to Whole Foods and get their brioche bun.
Okay.
And then pickles, mustard, and lettuce, and cheddar cheese. Toast the bun and cook the hamburger on a griddle and have a great hamburger.
And I noticed that you left out mayo or ketchup or mustard or ranch. What's your situation with that?
I am not a mayonnaise fan. I campaign against mayonnaise. So when we did the first Chili's, I wasn't going to put mayonnaise on the menu. So I asked one of my operations people, I said, look, what's the best mayonnaise? And they said, Hellman's. I said, Hellman's it is. I don't have to taste it that way.
So at the original Chili's, you could get some Hellman's mayo
Yes.
on your old timer.
Absolutely.
If you must.
That's right.
Larry, you brought a friend who can give us a bit of cool news to share on this longtime restaurant. Come hop on the mic and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Farris Rookstool. I'm a forensic historian and also corporate historian of Chili's history.
Forensic historian. That sounds cool.
What a great gig. I did not know that was a thing.
Actually, I'm the only one in the entire world, believe it or not. I do forensic analysis. Spent a career with the FBI.
Wow.
Really?
Yep. I have advanced degrees in history, and so I do forensic analysis on historical cases. And one of the greatest things about my relationship with Chili's is I started out as a customer at 14 years of age in 1975. And been a lifetime customer of Chili's and the Brinker brand. I was there photographing Larry and Norman's first announcement that Norman was coming on board in 1983. So that's 43 years ago. You know, I've been around since the menu had 13 items on it. Now 3 only exist. And I've loved the concept. I've loved what Larry did. And the greatest thing for me is having had the front row seat as a historian, because most people, when they write about history, they're writing about abstract, things that they didn't live. But I lived from the birth of the first Chili's at Greenville and Meadow to their expansion, where now they have roughly 1,600 locations. One of the backstories about what drove Larry to create this incredible brand is his personal struggle. He had a dream that he never gave up on. He's not arrogant or egotistical like a lot of people that create something that is universal all around the world. I mean, it's in like 27 countries or so. And what's amazing is this man put everything that he had into his dream. And his cadre of tight circles of friends is how he created these restaurants. He first started at the site of where Central Market is today at Greenville Avenue and Lover's Lane with his first restaurant, Kitty Hawk. But he never gave up on this dream. And I often wonder if he had only stayed with just Kitty Hawk at the site of the old Luann's, where my mom and dad had their first date.
Oh.
A great location to put their first restaurant. And so this idea of creating now a hamburger restaurant down the street, past Mariano's, where Mariano's pioneered the frozen margarita machine in 1971, Larry put a margarita on the menu. I mean, they only had, in essence, 3 beers. They had Schlitz, because Schlitz would give them a beer cooler.
Yep.
And they also had sangria, and they had a frozen margarita. That was it. Now, what's amazing about what Larry created is now Chili's is the #1 company to sell margaritas in the world.
Wow.
Is that right?
They sell more margaritas, they buy more tequila than any company in the entire world. He took the invention that Mariano Martinez created, in May of 1971.
Of course.
And he amped it up and put it on steroids. He blew Mariano, who I've known for 50 some odd years, he blew him out of the water, where margaritas became the thing to do to go eat with your chips and salsa at the restaurant. Now, of those 3 items that are still on the menu, the chips and salsa, the French fries, and the OTC, as they call it, an old-timer with cheese.
I was going to ask what those 3 were.
Those 3, that's the Trinity. That's kind of like, okay, if we're going to get rid of everything else,
That's
at least
the Holy
they have,
Grail.
It's the Holy Grail. The chips and salsa kept people drinking alcohol, which was a genius move on their part.
You mean because the chips are salty?
The chips are salty.
So we want to break a little bit of news with you today, Farris, that you were instrumental in commemorating the original location of Chili's Texas Historical Commission marker.
Correct.
So what is that, and what will we soon see on the side of the road where the original Chili's was?
I do Texas Historical Commission markers as a professional historian full-time. And so one of the things I felt very passionate about is that people don't need to forget Larry Lavine and his genius creation at Chili's. So I talked to Doug Brooks. Now, one of the cool things about Larry hiring cool people is that he hired the very best of the best people. I mean, Doug Brooks, he went from an assistant manager starting in 1978 to becoming chairman of the board of Southwest Airlines. So I talked to Doug and I said, Doug, we need to create something, a Texas Historical Commission marker to honor the birth of Chili's. So Larry and I met at Chili's at Preston LBJ. We call it PLBJ. And so we had lunch and we said, yeah, sounds like a good idea. So we will install into the ground in concrete an actual Texas Historical Commission marker. And people will always know at that corner of Greenville and Meadow Road that the iconic brand of Chili's Grill and Bar that Larry Lavine and Mal Buckner created in 1975, that we will have a marker there so people can come and take selfies. They can have a place to remember where maybe they had their first date or where they had, something memorable in their life.
Birthdays was what it was for me.
Exactly. So, we have a lot of important things in Dallas which sadly are no longer there. And so it's important to me, and especially during Larry's lifetime, to see something mark the spot where one of the iconic brands that I knew and loved is remembered forever. And that's what we will have at that corner. So
now, when will we get it?
I would like to see it by the end of this year, but I'm patient. As we used to say in the FBI, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. So it's going to happen, and it's going to be something that'll be memorable for everyone.
So Farris, I want to say thank you for all your forensic work. Also, Larry Lavine, the co-founder of Chili's, thank you so much for being here and sharing all of your history too. It is a pleasure to eat with you all the time around town like I get to, and I think it's just pretty cool for us to hear these stories.
Thank you. It's been a lot of fun.
Quick reminder that you can find all the latest food news at dallasnews.com/food. So we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, if you made girl dinner for boys, what would it look like? Well, that's coming up right after this.
Central Market is really into food. Like when we say cheese, it's in 12 languages into food. Butchers, bakers, and sushi roll makers into food. We're talking so obsessive about quality you can shop blindfolded into food. Central Market is really into food. If you are too, then let us turn your shopping list into a treasure map. Get inspired, get adventurous, or just get a chef-made dinner when you've got more taste buds than time. No place makes every meal more amazing like Central Market. Really into food. Shop now at centralmarket.com.
Coming up, we've got a new food trend for you to hate. But first, a quick reminder that you can always reach out to the Dallas Morning News food team at eatdrink@dallasnews.com. We love hearing your thoughts, and please take a minute to follow the podcast wherever you listen. That way you won't miss any episodes.
So I was doom scrolling online and came across a new food term that I hate. All right, so the new counterpoint to girl dinner is boy kibble.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
I know. It's giving dog food.
Yeah,
so we have
like dog food.
Girl dinner.
So good.
No, boy kibble. Yeah.
Yeah, boy kibble is not near as cute.
It's not.
All right, so girl dinner is when someone gathers up the simplest snacks on one plate. They are not necessarily cute, even though the name is. Girl dinner is just there to be eaten quickly and perhaps healthfully. Now, boy kibble, this is more about protein and low calories. So boy kibble is like ground meat, maybe ground beef, perhaps some rice and an avocado. And then the idea of boy kibble, which can come in varieties, is that that's it, right? The weightlifting boy in your life is now eating that same thing. Yes, our gym bro is eating that thing at least once a day and certainly every day.
Oh,
this is boy kibble.
And they love talking about it because they love telling you what they're eating to up their protein and how much water they're drinking.
The water.
It's exhausting. I have a couple examples, some of them that I've been seeing online. So the basic ones are just like, the steak and tots, the ground beef and rice, maybe a little broccoli here and there. I saw one influencer who was saying what real boy kibble is. It's sweet potatoes, lean ground beef, cooked spinach, avocado, and cheese. That's real boy kibble.
So 5 things all on the same plate and all the time.
Yes.
Does that even taste good? Like, I can't imagine what sweet potatoes, ground beef, spinach, and yes.
And also, where is the cottage cheese if we're going to make this worse?
Yeah. No wonder they call it dog food.
Yes.
Yes, that's what it sounds
sorry.
like.
Yes. Somebody was like, when my dog gets sick, I give her boy kibble, the ground beef and rice.
So wait, how is this different from a slop bowl?
What is a slop bowl first?
Okay, so like, you know, when you go to Cava or Chipotle and they just give you a bowl and then they slop a lot of stuff in it, like rice, avocado, ground beef, or some sort of protein.
And then you give them $16. Don't forget that part.
Right. So how is this different?
Not different at all. It's just your version of that at home.
And way less cute.
Yeah.
To me, like, I like a bowl because I think that we're efficiently feeding ourselves with things that are part protein and part vegetables. But the boy kibble part, I just can't get out of my mind the ground beef, or worse, the ground turkey. I mean, it's the saddest looking.
It does not look
thing.
appetizing at all.
Like, that should be in a patty inside of a burger bun or something. We don't need to look at ground turkey.
So that said, though, it's not a bad idea. Like, how do we make this better? How could we take boy kibble and make it something like you'd actually eat at home?
I will add some cilantro. Yeah, for color, you know, some tomato maybe, you know, make it like beautiful.
Yeah,
I think it's about the sauce, and I guess we're counting calories here. I don't really know. I'm not a boy who eats dog food, but like chimichurri. Could this make it better?
Yeah. Yes.
Could this make the sweet potato with the, you know, yada yada better? Or like, I mean, I would love like a garlic cream sauce, but I think that's not allowed.
So not to keep going back to Chipotle, but they have a really great chili vinaigrette.
Yeah.
It is so good. And there are a couple of dupes online where you can make your own version of that dressing. I think that, you put that on some rice, ground beef, cilantro, a little avocado. That sounds good.
It's nice.
The line seems so fine because as we're talking about this, I'm realizing that at least twice a week we do eat this in my house. But y'all, it's so cool. What we eat is not gross. I mean, we roast a sweet potato and usually grill some skirt steak or something, you know, something delicious. Cut it up, but there's avocado salsa involved, or sometimes, you know, just a regular spicy tomato salsa. We have established that I love Doña from Taco Deli, which is the crazy spicy jalapeno crema. But I think that would be out because it has cream in it. But, you know, like this sweet potato plus a protein thing is so delicious. It is important to me, everybody, that we make it at least a little bit pretty.
Are we just hating on it because it's for boys? Is that it? Or is it just the name?
Let's put it back on y'all. Like, what type of boy kibble do y'all eat? What makes it more appetizing when you make it? We'd love to hear it at eatdrink@dallasnews.com.
And I want to see pictures.
Yes, send pictures.
I do not.
Yeah. And maybe just a better name, something other than boy kibble. There's got to be a better way to package this.
Yep.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Remember to keep up with all the latest food news at dallasnews.com/food. For the news, I'm Julie Fisk. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Eat, Drink, DFW from the Dallas Morning News is made possible by Central Market.